Audio Jungle.
Yo, what up, guys? It's shillgates, and I am so sick to death of BitMEX that I've been out searching for alternatives for a margin trading site, and I finally found one that I like. BitMEX's order issues and server problems and downtime and just massive headaches have pushed me so far over the edge that I had to go look and find something else. This is not a paid ad. All I ask is that if you learn something from this or you like this platform, that you use my referral link to sign up. It benefits me and you. I tried Deribit. I didn't like it. That's why I didn't recommend it. And now I finally settled on Bybit, and I've been having a really good time using it. It's relatively similar to BitMEX, and it just makes sense for me. I like that they have the customizable dashboard here. They got the sliders like BitMEX, and they have a couple other things like BitMEX. Now, there are some things that I would like to see made better, but at the same time, I'm happy to use this because there's no such thing as order submission errors. There's no overload because not a lot of people are using it. Yet there is still fairly decent liquidity to get your orders off as long as you're not some big super whale. So anyway, the first things first, for using this, if you're in the US or anywhere else that it's restricted, you're going to have to get a VPN. The one that I recommend is called NordVPN. You can see it here, nordvpn.com. It's real simple to set up. I recommend purchasing one because some of the free ones suck. But if you do want to use a free one, Opera Browser has a built-in one into the browser, and it's a really good browser, so you could use this just specifically for trading. On Bybit, you come up here and you click and you turn your VPN on, and then down here you'd select Europe or I guess Asia. Do be mindful that you have to go into the settings over here and turn on the VPN. I'm not going to show you all that right now though, but you can look it up online if you're having trouble with it. So back to Bybit. Now, Bybit is a leverage trading site, right? So you can margin trade Bitcoin by borrowing Bitcoin from Bybit to enhance your position size. So let's say I have 0.5 Bitcoin and I want to trade with a whole Bitcoin. I can borrow the remainder of that half a Bitcoin to get to a whole one from Bybit and trade with that as if I have a whole Bitcoin, and I'll get the profits as if I'm trading with that. So that's the really cool thing about leverage trading. Now, the issue is Bybit sets a cutoff point where they say, if you reach this point, we're going to start losing money and we have to close your position. And that's what's called a liquidation. The liquidation is when you lose the entire amount of money that you put up to purchase that position because price reached that, and Bybit says, all right, you're done, you're cut off. We're taking our money and we're leaving because we can't be losing money. We're in exchange and we need to make money. Now, the way leverage works is with these multipliers up here. And that's exactly what they are. They're multipliers. So 2x would double your position. 10x would 10 times your position. So if you had 1 Bitcoin and you went 2x, you'd be trading with 2 Bitcoin. If you had 1 Bitcoin and you went 10x, you're trading with 10 Bitcoin, and so on and so forth. Now, it multiplies the amount that you're trading with, and it also multiplies the percent change in the chart. So let's say Bitcoin goes up 1% and I'm at 10x. In my case, in my trade, it just went up 10%, not 1%. If it goes up 5% and I'm at 10x, it just went up 50%. And the same goes for 50. So if it goes up 1% and I'm at 50x, I just gained 50%. But it goes the opposite direction too in losses. So if it's down 1%, you're down 50%. Just try and keep up with me. Buying long and selling short are the two ways that you can make orders with leverage. Now, long is when you expect the price to go up. Short is when you expect the price to go down. So this is the cool thing that leverage trading and margin trading allows you to do, is it lets you make money both ways on the market. So you can predict if it's going to go up or down. And rather than only being able to make money going up, like on Binance, you can also bet that it's going to dump, and you can make money when it dumps too. So that's really cool. let's go over and set up a trade right now. So I want to short because I think it's going to dump. Not really. We're just talking for, you know, tutorial's sake. But I would, if you're new, I would stay 10x and below. And even then, like, stay down in here. 1x is a normal trade. So 1x would be like you're just making a regular Binance trade. Obviously, you can short here and you can't short on Binance. But 1x is the same as trading anywhere else. So I really don't recommend using 1x if you're going to be margin trading because you could do that anywhere. So I would go somewhere in the 2 to 10 range if you want to multiply your position size. Now, your available money is right here, right? So this is going to be your bankroll for BTC. Now, they have Bitcoin and they have Ethereum too. And this is one cool thing about Bybit is you can trade in Ethereum. So you can deposit Ethereum and trade in Ethereum. On BitMEX, you can only deposit Bitcoin. You can trade Ethereum, but you can only get paid in Bitcoin. Whereas on here, you can get Bitcoin and ETH, and I have a feeling they're probably going to be adding a lot of other coins in the future too. One thing I really want them to add is a USD wallet. If you come over here in the assets, you can see you deposit here, you withdraw here, deposit, withdraw. I want to see a USDC or a Tether or something to where you can lock in your profits because that's not really commonplace on margin trading exchanges, and I think it needs to exist because it's really important to be able to lock in your profits. So anyway, since we're over here, this is obviously your assets. And then here would be your history of, I guess, your deposits and withdrawals, your order history, your trade history, and your withdrawal history. All pretty self-explanatory. There's really not much to this site. The main parts that I have to understand is the trading part. And on the trading part, we're going to get into some trading. So let's say I want to go 10x, and I expect that it's going to go short. Now, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to use a market order. Generally, you want to use a limit order. A limit order will fill only at the price that you predetermine, right? So if I want it to go, if I think it's going to come up first before I short, I'd say 5214 limit order. And then whenever it gets to that, it'll fill my order. A market order takes whatever is available on the books at the time of purchase. So if I click market order and I say let's say I want to hold Bitcoin. So what's Bitcoin? 5211. See, this is in USD right here, quantity USD. So you're going to put this in the USD amount that you want to purchase in Bitcoin. So a market order is going to take whatever is available to get me this amount, one whole Bitcoin. Now, if you look here, see my order value is worth 1 Bitcoin. But if you look down here, the cost is only 0.1 Bitcoin, right? And that's because of the leverage trading. I'm borrowing their money to get me to 1 Bitcoin, and I'm only using 0.1 of my own Bitcoin to get that because it's 10 times that on their dime. Now, that's going to give me a liquidation price though. So let's say, since we're doing market, we're going to hit sell short. Right? Now, this is the other cool thing that Bybit allows you to do. It allows you to predetermine a take profit price point and a stop loss price point. So take profit, let's say I only want to sell this position when it gets to 25%, a 25% gain, and I can preset this. I can also, go lower, higher, whatever. And then the stop loss is going to protect me from getting liquidated. So I'll put a stop loss at negative 5%. Since I'm long, it'll be negative 5%. If it goes below my entry point, more than 5%, this position will get closed and I'll only lose 5% of 0.1 Bitcoin. So we'll hit confirm. And now I have my order. All right, so now that we got this order set, you can see this is my stop loss here. It's a little hard to see because the price line's on it, but you see this red here? This is my entry. So this right here is the entry point. And then this is my take profit on my short. So remember, short goes down, long goes up. If I come down here and I hit this, it's going to sell my position in profit at 25% profit. If it goes up and I was wrong and it hits here, it's going to sell my position at negative 5% loss. So that's a cool little feature that this has that BitMEX and a lot of other exchanges doesn't. But you don't need to do it that way. So down here, your positions are going to be what's live. Right now, you can see my unrealized PNL. This is how much I stand to profit or lose. Right now, I'm losing 0.1% because price moved up when I'm trying to have it go down. Right? So I'm losing 52 cents right now, which really ain't shit. We just made this order, so it's going to bounce around in here for a little while. You're thinking a little more long term with these trades. So these are your positions. You can see all the information here. There's the quantity I bought, the value that it's worth, the price that I got in, and most important is my liquidation price here. So if this were to pump up to 5757, I would get liquidated and I would lose all the money that I put in. So what did I put in? I put in zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. So I would lose that, right? Because they'd say, look, you're cut off. We're going to start losing money here. We're taking all that you put in to cover our losses and we're out. So that's the way leverage works. And that's why you need to be careful. Now, the thing about higher leverage, right? So let's say, what was this one? This one's 5757. So that's all the way up here, right? We'll just say there. So that's my liquidation. So if it goes all the way up to here, I'm going to get liquidated on 10x. If I was on 50x, it would be more like down here. So the higher the leverage goes, the closer the liquidation price is going to come to your entry position. And that's what makes it more dangerous at higher leverage, because smaller moves in Bitcoin can get you liquidated, but they can also give you massive percent gains if you're correct, which is why I recommend staying in the lower leverage so you can have these far off liquidation prices. And then also you want to set a stop loss like we did here. So let me show you the other way to set a stop loss and take profit. So in this conditional one right here, you're going to see your stop loss and your take profit. Now, if this part's confusing you, you don't have to set it up. When I made that order, I'm going to show you again and just make a simple order. But I just think this is really cool because it lets you do it all at once. So this one, let's see. This one is your take profit and this is your stop loss. Yeah, no. This is your take profit and this is your stop loss. Doesn't really matter, but you can just go through here and figure out which one's which based on where they are on the chart. So we're going to cancel both of these, right? Because we're not going to use them now, and we're going to come back to our position. Now, let's say that I know where Bitcoin's going to go. We're short, so I want it to go to, let's just say 5,000. So I would hit limit, and then I'd put 5,000 and confirm. Now I have a sell at 5,000. So if it comes down here, it'll sell at 5,000. It's the same thing as I did when I set up in the dialogue and I did the stop loss and the take profit. Now I'm just doing it manually after the fact, after my order's already been placed. And that's really it. So now let's say I wanted to close this position. Let's say something happened and I had to run, or I really want to take it right away. I can also hit this market sell, and the market sell will close it at whatever price it's at, whatever's available in the order book. Remember, I told you limit orders are always the ones that you want to try to use. But if you're in a rush and you have to go and you just need to get it at the price it's at right now, you can hit market, and as long as your position is not too big, it'll sell it and hopefully not have too much of what's called slippage, which would be buying down the order book and lowering or raising the price that you get it at. So we'll hit market and we'll confirm. And then you'll see over here, here's all your fills. So these are all the orders that have been filled or closed, opened or closed. And then your order history is also the history of the orders that you've put on the market, but that'll also show you your canceled ones too. So filled is more important. And then if you want to come look at your profits, you'll come to your assets again and you'll see the realized P&L. See, I'm down right now, but that's okay because I'm just making these tutorials for you and I don't really care right now. But yeah, I hope that helped. Like I said, if you want to be creating a regular order, like let's do a limit order right now, just since we did a market. We'll do a limit order at 50x, and we'll say we want, again, we'll do a Bitcoin again. So 5 to 11, that's one whole Bitcoin. And we're going to want to get it at, let's go long this time. So we're going to get it at this price, and we'll hit buy long. Now, we're not going to do this time because remember I told you don't have to do this part. This is just a cool little feature that it has, and we'll just hit confirm. Right? So now I have a buy set at 52.10.50, and as long as price goes there and somebody fills my bid, I'll have a long in and we'll go through the same process. So once I have my long, I'll come down here and I'll decide where I want it to get to. So let's say I want it to go up 1%, which if it goes up 1% on a 50x, that's 50% gain. So 1% is around 5264. So once this filled, I would come down here to close by, limit again, and I just put 5264 in there. And that would set a limit order to close my position at 50% profit. I hope this helped, guys. Rewatch it again if you're having issues. You can ask questions in the comments and I'll help you out. Like I said, all I ask is that for me putting this together, if you could use my ref link when you sign up to Bybit, I would really appreciate it. It's going to benefit both of us. You get different types of perks by using it too. And happy trading. Be safe out there, guys. Low margin at first and, crank it up as you learn what you're doing and know what you're doing. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Peace.